Next we're going to make a Jester Hat, and I make it with 3 balloons. Okay, so you try to pick fairly bright colors, or let the kids pick their colors if you're so disposed. I do that a lot. I let the kids pick their own colors. It makes it a little more personal to them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to blow up each balloon. Again, we have to work with them and they have to be the same length. Work with about that much of a tail, about 3 inches tail. And if you have a real long line, the kid wants the Jester Hat, just go ahead and grab 3 balloons and pick them out, because sometimes the kids take a little bit of time picking out the colors, and that can take up more time. Okay, now it's important again to make sure all balloons are the same length. So I'm going to pull up like that. You can see the orange one's quite a bit shorter than the yellow one. For some reason they don't blow up as long. To stretch a balloon out, okay, you just grab like this and you pull it through. And that should have stretched it out quite a bit. What that does is it stretches the balloon without pushing the air down the tail. And that's pretty close. So, and then the same thing with the blue one. Blue one again. That one is very short. Like we're pretty close there. Okay, first thing you'll need to do is measure the child's head. Okay, let's say the child's head's about that big around. Okay, so I figured that that's half the child's head. So here's a third. Okay, so a little bit more than a third. I'm going to make and that's the length I'm going to work with, minus a little bubble here at the end. Okay, so those are the lengths we're going to work with right there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that spot there, and I'm going to grab one of the other colors, put a little bubble on the end, and I'm going to tie it in right there. Okay. Now the reason I do thirds is because the third of the length is the third of the length around their head. So this is the part that's going to around their head. That's why you work in thirds, because you have 3 balloons. If you had time and used 4 balloons, which you could, you would use fourths. But here we're using thirds. Next, I'm going to measure the balloon. Now remember, I'm going to have a little bit of bubble in the blue and the one here, so I'm going to grab the third, the orange balloon right there. See how it's a little bit less than the blue? Okay, and that's my next length. Grab the other balloon, put a little bit of bubble on it. Tie that into that one. Okay, and then this last color, it's going to be the same length as this one, so that's where I'm going to tie that in. And then, of course, the last one I got is the blue balloon. You tie that into there. And what you end up with is a triangle, kind of like this. Okay, and all the balloons hanging out there. That's the part that goes around the head. Okay, now we're going to build the upper part. To build the upper part, you take 2 of the balloons, make sure they're the same length here, tie them together, and then take the third balloon and make sure it's the same length as the other 2. So this length is the same as that, this length is the same as that. Which it is, and tie that in. You know, something like this. Now, if there's already a natural bend in the balloon, try to go ahead and get it in that direction anyway, so where it curls down. Okay, kind of like that. Now we're going to shape these balloons, and you know, as Jester Hat, it goes like that. So you take the balloon like that, and just go like this, and that's we'll put a curve in it. And then a little bit more like that. Same thing with the other 2. Okay. We get the curves all pointing down, and then now we got to put the little balls on the end of each balloon. Again, you do that by make a little bubble on the end that you can hold in the palm of your hand, and then just lightly holding the area there, but leave the end exposed, and squeeze that the one in the palm of your hand, and that'll push the air to the end of the burn. You let go of the one in the palm, so it releases. Make sure this is all good. Yep, and then do your little tugs, about 3 or 4 tugs. I do a bunch. So I like to make sure it stays, and that's what you'll have. Do the same thing on the other 2. And this is me too sometimes. And there we have the Jester Hat.